So my dad was offered a new computer at work and could choose which one he wanted, and he asked for my advice, and obviously I then recommended him getting an Apple product. We went back and forth between MacBook Air and MacBook Pro, but then we finally decided for a MacBook Pro Retina Display 13-inch 128GB. I was really excited about doing this unboxing. The first thing I noticed is weight. Personally, I have a MacBook Pro 13-inch from 3 years ago, and this is obviously doesn't have a CD drive and is a lot lighter. There were a few specs on the front of the MacBook as I was opening it, which I found kind of odd. And when I got to the back, I noticed there were some scratches. You can see me checking them out there. I kind of felt if it was something that I could rub off, then that would be fine, but they didn't disappear, and I tried capturing it on film, but I wasn't very successful there. You can see one scratch in the corner. I was really disappointed about that, so I put it back in its wrapper and went back to the store and got a new one. So this is the second unboxing of the new MacBook Pro Retina, as I got this one instead because I wasn't happy with the first one. This time we're going to start with the contents of the box. I'm really happy to see that the extension cord to the charger is way longer than for my MacBook Pro. My charger broke and I lost it once, so I think I'm on my third or fourth charger to that computer. But this one is a lot longer, which is a lot more useful when you're charging your computer. When you have this extension, I didn't get this when I ordered mine from Apple. This laptop is from a store, a hardware store, not an Apple store. What is, however, disappointing is that the lead that connects to your MacBook is different from my, so the charger is different and you can't share chargers anymore between the two. I already knew this, but I still found it quite disappointing. This is the manual. I just generally don't really look at that, although I probably should. The first thing I noticed when taking the plastic off is that Apple has changed what kind of plastic they use for the MacBook now. There used to be a plastic that sticks on your computer so you could keep it on for a few weeks. I know some people hate people that do that, but I was one of those people. But this time now around, they've got this plastic that just comes right off, so it's kind of naked. Opening the MacBook, I kind of felt that the keyboard was further back than on mine, but then I compared the two of them and that's not true. But using the actual keyboard was such a pleasure. It's so soft and actually a softer experience, I think, than to my MacBook. I know there are a lot of comparisons to my MacBook, but I do kind of feel like my MacBook's really old now, even though it's only 3 years. But obviously there are a lot of improvements. A huge pity to me is the small hard disk of 128 gigabytes. Obviously you do have the option of the 256, but there's an offer on this specific model, so that's what we chose. My dad can do fine on 128 gigabytes, but it's kind of a pity that you have to choose either between having a sleek model and the power, although I do feel like the Retina does combine both. Nowadays, you have cloud services for everything. You've got iCloud, Dropbox, PhotoStream, several different services. And basically, it's very easy nowadays just to have all your data online instead of on your computer. What that means in terms of integrity issues, of having all your data online is a completely different story. What I really found was an awesome feature in this newest MacBooks Pro, and probably the other MacBooks too, is the migration assistant that helps you transfer all your data from your old Mac or PC onto the new one through Wi-Fi, provided they're both on the same network. So you just set them up together, and it just starts transferring the data. It can take a long time. In this case, it took 6 hours, which is why I'm going to have to round up the video here. It's just going to take too long. I would like to do a review in the future, but I do hope you enjoyed watching. I won't be using this MacBook because it's not mine, but I'm really thankful that my dad let me have this experience of unboxing.